Waiting room. Okay, admit all. There we go. Hello, 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 hello. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Can you guys hear me okay? You can switch on your cameras. You can switch on your mics. So it's a very interactive session. So we're going to be able to, I want to be able to hear everybody okay. And I want everyone to be able to put their mics on and put their cameras on so that we can interact. It's going to be a highly interactive session and you're going to get the most value from it. So as people are logging in, I'll just welcome people. We've got Luke. Good evening, Luke. Good evening, Umar. Good evening, Tonna. Good evening, Mary. People are still logging in now, so just give them a few moments to log in. That'd be fantastic. If you could organize yourself, if you haven't done your hair, you can just tie maybe something on your head and turn your camera on. Yeah, and if you're wearing your pajamas, maybe it might not be a good idea to turn the camera on yet. So please, yeah, if guys, if you can turn your cameras on and we're going to interact because we're going to have some to and fro. We're going to have some interaction going on here. I'll be asking you a series of questions. You'll be able to interact and answer those questions as well as building your knowledge. So questions are the answers. When you answer those questions, you will get the answers that you're looking for, and it will solidify in your mind what you've learned, and you'll be able to take away things that you can implement straight away. I don't want this just to be me talking. It's not the Ken show where I'm just going to be talking away. It's going to be interactive where you're going to actually get value from it. So we'll be able to work together and then make a detailed action plan of what you're going to do in the next 7 days moving forward. Okay, wonderful. Good evening, Mary. Nice to see you there. Hello.
Oh, hello.
How are you? You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Fantastic. Wonderful. Right, so people are just logging in. I'm just letting people in at the moment for a very, very interactive and intuitive meeting where you're going to be learning lots of strategies. You might know some of them, but I guarantee you're not going to know them all. So I'll be sharing.
Hi, Ken. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi.
Who's speaking? I see you.
It's me, it's Tom.
Hi.
Just to say that excuse me, I'm right here, but I will be muted only because I have a noisy little one who will probably try to hijack the meeting. So if it's a permission to stay on mute on this occasion, please.
Thank you very much. That's my dear and darling wife. She's joining us today, so that's lovely as well. Okay, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, so people are still logging in. We started a little bit early just to give 2 people in. Let me let them in. Some more people coming in now. Okay, yeah, let them log in. We've got there's quite a few of you logging in today. I think people like the title "Big Deals with Little Money." Who doesn't want to do a big deal and use little money to do it? I think we all do. Many years ago, I had to design this because I was forced to do this because I was doing a lot of deals and I ran out of money quickly. I'll do a deal over here, I'll put 10,000, I'll do a deal over there, I put 5,000, I'll do a deal over there, I put 2,000. And then I ran out of money, I couldn't do any more deals. So I had to find a way to do many deals with little money. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys tonight. It's going to be fantastic. And even if you haven't got any money, I'll still show you how you can do deals. So this is really, really exciting things I'm going to be sharing with you today. Okay, let me see. There's more people joining. Let me just let them in. Okay. So good evening, Josiah. Julian's just joined us. Basola's joining us as well. Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, please, if you can, please put your cameras on, put your mics on mute, put your cameras on. It's going to be very interactive. We're going to be able to interact together. Josiah, good evening. How you doing? You all right? Yeah, we'll be able to interact, and it's going to be a very interactive session, and you're going to be taking away some gems tonight. So yes, that is very, very exciting. Okay, good. People are just still logging in. We're just giving 1 or 2 minutes to do that. Then we will get started. Lovely, lovely. Okay, so where are we? Okay, that's good. Big deals, little money. Okay. All right, letting some more people in. Julian, you appear to be on twice. Maybe it's your twin. I'm not quite sure. You've logged in twice. How you doing? You all right? You've logged in twice, so maybe you don't turn the other mic on because you might get a reverb. It will just start reverbing if you have both of them on. But yeah, I can see you. That's good. Your mic is on, so that's fantastic. Wonderful. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm looking forward to sharing this wonderful strategies with you guys. Okay, 7:32. I said I'm going to start at 7:30 sharp, so I'm actually going to start now. Anyone coming now, they'll have to join and we jump in. So I'm going to start. Let me put my presentation screen on. Slide. We're going to get started straight away. Right, share screen. All right. Can you just give me a thumbs up to let me know you can see my screen okay? Can you see? Okay, wonderful. So we're going to be looking at big deals with little money. In case some of you don't know me, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background about who I am. Who is Ken Ajoku? Who is this fellow that's been doing this property stuff all this time? What is it about? So I'm the CEO and co-founder of the Kajoku Group. I've been doing property deals for the last 27 years, actually. I started a while ago. I was fed up of renting property, and I said, you know what, I'm going to save up and buy my own property. I worked extremely hard for 2 years straight. I slept for 4 hours every day, except for Sunday when I had a total rest, and I saved up £100,000 in cash. £100,000 in cash is like £1 million in those days. It was so much money. And I was going to buy my first property cash because that's all I knew. I didn't know anything about mortgage or any of those things. I'm going to just buy it outright cash because I was fed up of renting. So my father was actually my first mentor, and he said to me, no, you need to leverage your money. You need to use money for a deposit and use that deposit to now buy your own property. I didn't understand, but he explained that and it made sense to me. So I was able to now buy my first property. I actually put down £40,000 deposit and I took out a mortgage for £34,000. So I had a very small mortgage. I was going along. I said, oh, this property business is quite good. I was doing IT at the time. I was a IT manufacturer. I used to manufacture computers. I had a booming business with IT, and I took that money from there and invested into property. As it went on, I learned more and more about, I went and learned different property strategies. I done coaching, training. I paid for so many different training courses because you don't know what you don't know, right? You just don't know what you don't know. You think you know. I thought I knew what I was doing, and everything was fine. I had a buy to let. I wait 5 years, refinance it after 5 years. But how many 5 years have you got? You can't keep waiting every 5 years to refinance. There's got to be a quicker way to get, to accelerate the process. So I went along. I've done lots of training. I found out all about property investing. But if you look on my wall, it says one of the things says never stop learning because life never stops teaching. So every day is a school day for me. So even though I've been doing it so long, there's always room for more learning and more improvement. So I encourage you, if you don't know how to do these things, you should get the education behind it so that you can move forward fast. So you're not, fumbling around in the dark because you don't know how to do it. So that's a little bit about that. Okay, so I've been successfully trading for the last 27 years. I'm actually an author. I've written a few books. One of the books I've written is Property Millionaire Secrets. I've written deal packaging books. I've written rent-to-rent books. I've written a number of books. They're on Amazon and on my personal websites as well. I have a property sourcing company. The strategy behind a property sourcing company is that I train my students so that they can get a footprint and get to the places that I can't get to. We source properties and then we sell them to our investors. I have an investor list, a database of investors. All of them I know personally, and they're keen buyers. They're ready with money. They're ready to go. So when I work with my students, we just connect them with the investors, and we can move very quickly because it takes time to build up that investor database. So that's what I do. Property development. I'm involved in property development. I have my own property development company. I help investors to do land developments. So we source land for investors to build on, and we also can provide them with a development team that can do that. So that's where the property development side comes into it. I have a lettings agency, which I've had for the last probably about 18 years now with Bexley Council, where we offer landlords guaranteed rent. and we manage those properties for them. So that's another arm that I have. And the reason I did that as well is because I got my own portfolio, which I'm managing. So I thought, okay, I dovetail the two together, and why not manage, you know, two sets of properties is all management. You might as well lump them together and then manage them all at the same time. And a property training academy, as you can see here, this is what we do. And the idea here is to train students and JV with them, work with them so that we can both make money together in that aspect. So that's what the Property Training Academy is about. So that's a little bit about me, but it's more about big deals with little money. That's what we come here to talk about. We didn't come to talk about what I've done and what my students done, etc. We talked about what you're going to be doing, what you can do next. What is this big deals about? So this is the part where it's going to get a bit interactive now. I just give you an overview of what we're going to do. So we're going to go through what the strategy is. We're going to ask you some questions. I'm going to want some, you know, hand raising. I want some people to interact. You're going to take off your mics and you're going to interact and we're going to talk. Once we've done that, we'll go through different strategies that, you know, how do you apply those different strategies. I will give you benefits, advantages, disadvantages, challenges. I'll also share with you case studies, real life case studies of what I've done, what my students have done, and what you can potentially do as well. If we've got enough time, I'll be able to put you in breakout rooms. If we've got enough time, we may or may not. We'll see how that's going to work. And then at the end of this program or end of this today, you're going to have a list, at least 3 or 4 things that you're going to actually do in the next 7 days that's going to drive you forward to getting your first or next property deal. Does that sound good? Right, excellent. All right. So assisted sales, this is where interaction comes in. So I'm going to stop the share on the screen and I'm going to interact with you guys. So assisted sale, can someone tell me what an assisted sale is? Do they know what an assisted sale is? What is an assisted sale? Anyone could just unmute, you can say, you can tell me what you think an assisted sale is, and then we can go from there. This is where the interaction comes in now. So who's going to be first? Or should I choose somebody? Okay. Josiah, you look excited and ready to say something.
Yeah. I think assisted sale is when you help someone sell the property by connecting a seller with a buyer.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else? Angela, are you able to speak? No? Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else contribute to that? If you can turn your screens on, that'd be great. If you can unmute and then you can speak. Okay. All right. Assisted sale is where you're going to assist a seller. So it could be a situation where someone has had their property on the market for a long time and they're trying to sell their property and they just can't sell their property. They're struggling to sell it for one reason or another. Usually the reason is either in poor condition, is in bad condition, or there's something that's wrong with that property, the reason why. It could be overpriced, it could be underpriced, it could be in bad condition, it could be the boiler's not good, there's a reason, the bathroom is not good, the kitchen's not, there's a reason why that person is struggling to sell their property. Now, I'm going to use this opportunity to share a very quick case study with you. I had one of my clients came to me and said, can you buy houses? I know you buy houses, buy mine. I said, no problem, let's go and have a look. We went down there, had a look. He already had it on the market. It was on the market with an estate agent. And he told me that he had actually 35 viewings on this property and one silly offer that was just beyond, it was so embarrassing. He didn't want to tell me what the offer was. So I said to him, okay, let me have a quick look around the property. I had a quick look around the property. I said, oh, you need to change the carpet here. He had a blue bathroom, a blue downstairs toilet, a yellow yellow part of the kitchen. Everything was patchwork. It was patchy, yellow, blue, or different colors all over the place. I said, look, you need to paint the whole place. You need to change the carpet on the stairs. This stripy carpet is out of date. No one does stripy carpet anymore. You need to get rid of that. You need to fix a few things in the garden. He had, the garden needed a bit of tidying up, a little bit of landscaping, fence needed repairing, the gate on the fence was broken, little things, but made a big difference, because when people are going to buy properties, they usually put all their money down as a deposit, and they haven't got any more. They're maxed out. They haven't got any more money to now repair that place. So they want to buy a property that's already done up for them, so that if the property is more expensive but it's already done, they will take it out of the mortgage. They'll use the mortgage to pay for it. So you've got to remember that that is a strategy. That is the mindset of a buyer. The buyer wants to come in and buy a property that's good to go. So I told him, I said, look, if you fix all of these things, I just told him straight, if you fix these things, you could sell this place. No way, Ken, I'm not doing any of this. I said, well, but you want to sell the place? I don't care, I'm not doing any of this. I said, but you want to sell the place, don't you? He says, yes. I said, okay, all right, you're not prepared to do it, I'll do it. I'll do it. My team and I will do it. He says, okay, how does that work? So long story short, we structured that we were going to purchase that property. We gave him a price that we were comfortable to pay for that property, and then we took it on. What we did, there was 3 of us involved. There was myself, I was project managing. I said, I'm not putting any money down. What I teach my students is what we call NMD, no money down. We do our very best to put down no money. You use other people's money, OPM, other people's money, or NMD, no money down. That's the strategy. We're trying to do that as much as we can. So I said, I'm coming in, but I'm not gonna put a penny in there. I'm not putting any of my money because I'm already giving you my expertise. So they said, fine. The second person I was working with was a builder, a contractor. So he was the person that was going to do all this renovation work. The third person I was working with was an investor. This investor came and brought £10,000, and he was a silent partner. He visited that property once. So his thing was to put in the money. He wants to get a return on his money. The builder is doing his work. He's going to get money for the work that he's done, and he's going to get a return, and I'm going to get a return as well. By the time we finished it, we made about probably just over £30,000 profit, and we shared that profit out. So that is one way that you can do that. I know there's a lot of in-betweeny bits that I've not mentioned, but the long story short is we renovated the place, we whitewashed all the walls, we changed the carpet, we fixed things in the kitchen, put spotlights in the kitchen, we did the landscaping on the garden a bit, we fixed the fence, we jet washed the drive, we jet washed the front drive. There were some things on the front of the house that needed painting, just a little bit of painting. Literally, the guy went on a ladder and he's painting bits of flaky wood and things like that. Fixed a couple of things here and there. It didn't cost too much to do. I had two buyers that went there, and the second person took the place. First person offered, but they were not very sure because they hadn't had their mortgage in place. Second person offered, they sold it, it's gone. Meanwhile, we structured a deal with the seller, and we actually paid for his mortgage because he had already gone to buy the next place and already started paying for his second mortgage. So we covered his mortgage as well as did we do the council? No, we didn't do the council tax. We covered his mortgage for him while he was waiting. But those are the days when the mortgage was quite low. So I'm not saying that you go out there and you say, yeah, I'll cover your mortgage, and the mortgage is £2,000 a month. You're like, whoa, we didn't budget properly. So you've got to take everything, you work everything out properly for the time and for the situation. That's what we did for him. So these are some of the things that you can do as an assisted sell strategy, but every situation is different. You must listen very carefully to what sellers are saying and what they're not saying. Okay, so that's what an assisted sell is. Okay, good. So why would sellers consider this a strategy? Any ideas? I've given you loads of clues, guys. For those of you who've just joined us, it's a very interactive session. We're asking questions, people are answering, and then we're building on those so that people can solidify what we're discussing in their minds and then go away with a strategy of how we're going to move forward. So why would a seller consider such a strategy, this assisted sell strategy? What are some of the benefits that you can perhaps think about? Just, guys, just call out and just say, no answer is wrong. So please, feel free to speak. Why would a seller? And if you've been listening, you would have had all the answers because I've basically told you guys in the last story that I just shared. So why would a seller consider an assisted sell as a strategy for them? Okay, this is the first to answer. Otherwise, I'm going to start picking on people. Okay, go ahead, James.
So why would a seller consider assisted sale?
Yes.
Well, if they're essentially they've got work that needs doing to their house. If their house is like under, maybe it could be of better value, but they've got work that needs doing, but they can't afford necessarily to do the repairs, then you coming in and being able to help with repairs and being able to do that to take the value of the property up, they would definitely consider that.
Superb, superb answer. And then a lot of people think that, oh, is this real? Can this really happen? What we have to do, or what we have to consider, is what we do is work with motivated sellers. There's a motivation. As my story, the story I shared with you, the guy wanted to sell his place, but he did not want to do it. And the reason he didn't want to do it, number one, because all his money was going into his new property. He was focused on his new property, buying a few furnitures, bits and pieces there. His focus was there, getting the mortgage sorted out. So he did not want anything to do. He lost interest in his old property, completely lost interest. So when you're working with that level of motivation, it's easier to do the deal with that person. And it's not everybody that will be motivated. Some people might be in their house and they're not motivated. Oh, well, I'll just wait until I get the right buyer. That's not the person that you're going to work with, because the motivation is not there. But with those type of people, you earmark them to come back. You say, all right, then let me see where they're going to be in 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks time. Maybe they might be motivated in 6 weeks time, when the pressure is starting to build up and they potentially could lose the place that they're looking to buy, or, you know, they're getting a bit pressured. So you need to work. It's not that we're taking advantage of people. We're looking to help people. We are problem solvers. That's what our mission is. Our mission is to solve problems. Our mission is not to take advantage of people. Our mission is to solve problems. So we look for problems and we solve them. When we solve problems, we make money. That's how it works. Okay. So the next question will be is, where can we find these type of deals? Where can we find these type of deals? Any ideas? I'm going to tell you anyway, but you know, just I want some interaction going on here. Where can we find these type of deals? Any ideas? No answer is incorrect. Go ahead. Any ideas? Julian, you look like you want to say something. Where do you think you could find these type of deals? Just any answer is fine. Oh, you're on mute. Sorry, you're on mute. You have to press the mic. Your mic is on mute.
Me?
No, Julian.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay, let me click on ask to unmute, then you can see it should come on your screen. All right, while Julian's unmuting himself, I will find someone else. Luke, are you able to speak?
Yes, I'm able to
How you
speak.
doing? All right.
Yeah, I'm going yourself.
I'm doing fantastic, thank you. Where do you think we can find these type of deals?
It's online on Zoopla, I guess.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. These deals are everywhere. In fact, what we're going to do, we'll do a practical exercise in a second. I'll show you, we're going to find some deals. We're going to find some deals now. There's nothing like doing the thing in real life practical. Oh, Julian, you're duplicated, but I think you're off mute on this one and you're on mute on the other one. That's a really good. Yeah. So where do you think? Where else do you think? Is there anyone else you think you can find these type of deals?
Potentially on Rightmove, Zoopla, potentially, or talk to estate agents.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys are taking notes. Zoopla, Rightmove, estate agents, even people you know. Your neighbor might be trying to sell their property. You've seen hundreds of people going there and the property's still sitting there unsold. Why is it sitting there unsold? So your neighbor could potentially be someone that is someone that you can approach. Also, people you know. The people you know that you work in property. If they don't, then you need to let them know that that's what you do. And if anybody's looking for a sale, they're struggling with a sale, their property's been on the market for a long time, they need some help, you can approach those kind of people. 85% of business comes from referrals, and it's actually true. And it's the most powerful way of getting business, from referrals. And as someone that knows someone, you know, they say you're 6 degrees away from knowing somebody. So you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that's got the deal for you. The next deal is through somebody you know. So let people know that that's what you do. You help people, you know, sell their property or get property solutions, and you'll get leads from there. Those leads turn into inquiries. Those inquiries can turn into potential deals, and those deals will turn into money in your bank. And that's effectively how it works. So, okay, that's good.
Sorry,
Can
Ken.
I say something? Sorry.
Oh, wait. Who's speaking?
Everyone wants to talk now.
Chinyere.
Okay. Yeah, it's just, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, James. Ladies first.
Last time we had the webinar, you said something about writing and dropping into the post box. You know, if you find out that that property has been standing for a long time, not sold,
Yes.
you can drop in a note to say that you're interested, you know, and maybe get the deal from that method. Is it possible? Yeah, something like that.
Can you see this? You see this? This is a note, a handwritten note, but it's not really, it looks handwritten, but it's not handwritten. I've actually printed them out. And what it says is this: do you want to sell? I'm looking to buy a home in your area. I'm willing to pay market value for the right property. I'm not in a chain, so can move quickly. Please call Ken on 07 blah, blah, blah. Please call me as a matter of urgency if you want to sell your house quickly, because I only need one property. This is what I used to use before. So this is the kind of note you can drop. It looks like you've written it on a yellow piece of paper and you literally stuck it through their letterbox. This works. Well, how it works is follow up. The fortune's in the follow up. You must follow up. Don't just post one and leave it. You need to post it again and again and again until one or two things happen. Either they say, can you stop posting this through my letterbox? Oh, yes, I'm interested. Please give me some more information. So yeah, that's how you start. You can do something simple as that. Yeah. If you need a copy of this, let me know. I can give you a copy of it. It's not a problem. But yeah, that's the kind of thing you can do. Literally a handwritten note. I'm in the area. I'm a property investor. I'm in the area. I'm looking to buy a property. I want a property in this area. This house looks perfect. Would you like to sell? I would like to have a discussion with you. And then if you want to do an assisted sell with them, you can, because the next steps will be to find out what the property is worth, what they actually want to do. What do they want to do? Do they want to move on to a bigger place, to a smaller place? They want to leave the country and go to another country? What is it they want to do? When you know what they want to do, then you help them to get there. You don't assume that you know what they want to do. You have to find out. You have to do what we call fact finding. So there's a fact finding process that you go through, and it is a to and fro. It's not going to be done in 5 minutes. You go back and forth, you're building rapport, you're building that relationship, you understand what their situation is, and you help them to get to that next situation. I'll give you another example. We had quite recently, one of our students here did an assisted sale, and how it came about is the person's actually based abroad. So the person's based abroad, and she approached the student and said, oh, I'm thinking of selling my property. Oh, really? Okay, can we have a look at it? I wasn't very interested in it because the figures were low. I'm like, well, I don't like leaving. I don't like to leave my office unless there's the numbers are big enough. So if I'm sharing it, everybody's going to eat very well. That's the way I look at it. Otherwise, I do it remotely. I try to do it remotely. I do, put me on a Zoom. I'll view the house on a Zoom. I do try and do everything I can by remote. So anyway, this student was very compelling and very persuasive, and she got me to come and view the place. I said, okay, no problem, you're good. I'll give you that, so I'll come. So we went, we viewed it, had a look at the place, and we realized that it needed a level of work. Probably, we estimated about £7,000 actually. £7,000 sounds like a lot, but for what we did was a little. We put a new bathroom completely, ripped out the bathroom completely, put a new bathroom in there, even down to the extractor fan and even down to the heater, etc. Beautiful, new tiles, floors, everything. Kitchen, we changed the worktop, the taps, the kitchen, just tidied up very, very nicely, cleaned it, gave it a good clean, painted everywhere. The carpets, we left the carpets. We didn't even change the carpets. We just said, we're going to clean the carpets. Sometimes you don't have to change the carpets, especially if you're going to give it to an investor who's now going to invest and put maybe laminate flooring down or do something else. Anyway, long story short, we arranged a price that we were going to sell that property for that person. But because they weren't prepared to do the work, we were prepared to do the work. We said, we'll do the work. We'll put in the energy. This student worked tirelessly. Oh my gosh, she worked so hard, cleared the whole flat, put it all in storage, put the whole place in storage, cleared it out, managed the maintenance people, the contractors, managed the whole process. Wonderful. It was an absolute pleasure to work with her. And I know she's there, so yes, it's you. I'm talking about you. It was a pleasure to work with you. And we're looking at making about between 35 and 38 grand profit. So that's not bad for a little bit of work. And what we did is we did OPM. I said to her, I said, look, we're not going to use our money. I'm going to ask the investor for the money. I sent a message out to my investors within 10 minutes. We got the £7,000 pledge. And by the end of the day, we got the money in our account. We used that money. We done what we needed to do. We went over budget by a little bit, but it was still okay. And this is how you do it. These are the ways the things structured, so you don't actually have to look from, even if you don't have money, you can still do these deals. When a deal is a deal, you bring it as a deal, an investor will be involved. Now, the investor, why would the investor be happy to give us that kind of money? Because we gave them 20% return. We say, you give us this, we give you a 20% on top return. So they're like, whoa, I'm putting in £7,000, I'm getting 8,000 something. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. I'll take it. So that's how we got that money. And we're able to do that because we're making enough profit on the other side. So we're deferring the payback by offering an incentive to the investor. So that's how it works. It works like that. But you've got to do your numbers properly. You've got to know what you're doing. You've got to know how to work with the investor, how to work with the seller, how to work with the contractors. Because if you don't do that, that's where it can go. It can get messy. You could go for 7,000 and you end up spending 15,000, and then people are upset, people are in trouble, you've gone over budget, and the whole thing crashes. That's why you need to have, someone to mentor or to coach you through the process properly, or you work with students that are actually doing, this is what they do. So these are some of the ways, some of the things that you can do. This is practical. This is real. This is not fairy tales. This is real life. This is how it works. This is how it's really done. This is not theory, just write it down on paper. This is practical, where we go out and actually implement these things. So those are some of the things that you can do with assisted sales. And it's a huge strategy if you want to make lots of money. And we're talking about, you don't have to just stop it with decoration. You can go as far as extensions. You can do extensions, you can do loft conversions, if you're building flats, you can put another level of, another floor of flats on it. It depends on how big you want to go and how much investment you can get involved and who you want to get involved. Because you need professionals involved to do the thing properly so that you make, the money you should make. I would recommend you get started small. You start small, you make maybe 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. Start with the small projects first. Get confident with what you're doing. Get the knowledge and the experience behind it. And then you'll be able to confidently grow and do bigger and bigger deals. And as I said earlier on, the reason why I started doing this strategy is because I used to do it before using my own money, and I ran out of money quickly. And it's not that I just didn't have the money. It's just that all my money was in projects. So when you have your money inside projects already, you could be doing project A is consuming 10 grand, project B is consuming 7 grand, project C is consuming 25 grand. And you're trying to manage all these projects with you're stretched thin because your money is out. Then you're waiting, you could wait 3 months because the deal could take 3 months to go through. Typical sales take about 12 to 16 weeks to from beginning to exit. So you could be waiting 16 weeks for your money. If you're waiting 16 weeks for your money, you've got the money, but it's stuck inside a property. Another deal comes on, you can't do anything, you're stuck. You're like, oh, this is a good deal, but I need money. So if you go down the other people's money or getting investors involved, that is more lucrative to do if you do it right. And you can do many of them at the same time. I was actually working with an investor 2 days ago who's asking for 5 million to do something similar to what we're talking about. He's buying a hotel and he's going to do exactly the same thing on a hotel basis. We're talking about, I think it's 54 rooms or something, hotel he's buying, and he's going to do exactly the same strategy, but someone's going to give him 5 mil to do the same thing. So if the numbers work, the profit's there, you can always get the money from 50,000, 10,000, 5,000 to 5 million, 50 million. That's how these things work. That's how these things are done properly. It's not necessary that you necessarily have to have all that money. You have to have access to that money. Once you have access to that money, then, and there's investors all around you. People think, oh, where are we going to find these investors? Investors all around you. If it's presented properly to someone that's got the money, instead of it sitting in their account making £100, they can give it to you and you can make them £5,000. So it's a big, huge difference, in how that works. So yeah, that's some of the case studies. Do we have any questions based on what I've already? I'm sure there's so many questions whirling around in your mind now. It's like, I need to ask this guy now. So please feel free to ask your questions and we'll go through those right now. Okay, who's going to go first? Come on, guys, I'm here. I don't want to hang up the phone and then you say, oh, let me call Ken later. Now is the time. We're here. We're live. Let's talk about it. Let's do this. Let's do this now. Because I'm going to give you some practical steps on what you're going to do in the next 7 days and how this is going to work. If you've got no questions, I'm going to then put you into breakout groups and then you're going to be able to discuss what you're going to do. I'm going to give you some questions to discuss on what you're going to do in the next 7 days. Any questions, guys? All right.
Got one question.
Yes, go ahead. So who's speaking, please?
Stella.
Stella, how you doing?
Yeah, not great, but I'm okay. What happen if you rent to service accommodation
Yes.
and you sign a contract of 2 years
2 years.
and you are 5 months down the contract, and the landlord said you want to sell the house?
Yes. I'm assuming it's you. Have you or the person invested in, how much investment has gone inside that rent?
A lot.
Is it rent to rent or rent to service accommodation?
Rent to service accommodation, yeah.
How much is a lot?
We're talking about not the part, we're talking about 7,000.
All right. So furnitures and things like that. Can you get any money back on any of the stuff that you've already invested in?
Not really. Not even that 7,000 is not only on the furniture and because when I had the place, it's like a couple of things I needed doing to suit the taste of service accommodation I want to do it for.
Yeah.
I've been in mind that it's going to be there for 2 years anyway, that I'm going to get the money back.
Yes.
In the process. But first of all, the place is not even bringing the money as it should be. Now the landlord wants to sell.
Okay. All right. Did you have an arrangement with him that if he exits before that time, then he's liable to pay you back what you've invested?
No.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of the things that we do. Usually
initially when we first had it, he said, and then at the end of the, because it's not well, we said because of his health,
okay,
that when the contract finished, he might sell. So we're hoping, that's why what encourages me to spend on the house, because at the end of the 2 years, I'm hoping to buy it.
Right, good. Well, that process has just been accelerated for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I learned a big.
No. Every disappointment is a blessing. That's a blessing,
Yeah.
because you can structure in a way that you can buy that place.
Now.
Well, that's a conversation we need to have. It's going to take more than the time that we have here, but that's the structure, particularly if they're ill. Do you remember I talked about motivated seller? He's a motivated seller now because of health. His health condition is motivating the sell. So he's like, oh, I just want you out. I just want the property back so I can get rid of it. He wants to get rid of it. Why? So when we get a bit deeper, what his motion, his motivation.
Yeah, I said it's not well. His health is deteriorating, so I want to get rid of it. But he's giving the price that is even more than the market value.
Oh, that's okay. All those is fine. We can work all those things out, because we can work. We can structure. I don't want to tell you because I don't want you to run and make the mistake. I want to talk to you and show you step by step what we need to do.
Okay.
Because it needs to be a step by step what we need to do. But basically, what's going to happen is we're going to structure to buy that property in stages and then sell it on to someone else. We're going to lock him in and then assign it to somebody else, and still you're going to make your money and money on top of that money. You get your money back and make money on top.
Okay.
So I'll show you how to do it. There's always, every problem has a solution when it comes to this property stuff. It might not be the best solution, but there's always a solution. So this is a good problem to have. I know it sounds like, oh my gosh, it's not good for me, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. Yeah. So we can do that. Don't worry.
When can I call you then?
Bookacallwithken.com. If you go to bookacallwithken.com, book a call. You're one of my students anyway, so you book a call. But you should have told me about this before you did.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, slap my wrist. Yeah, as much as you can.
Well, I'll bail you out because you're one of my students. I'll bail you out. I'll get you out of this one. Don't worry.
Okay.
But yeah, those kind of things. You're going to do that sort of thing. Please, you need to have that call with me. That's what we're here for, and our team is here just to guide you through to make sure that you don't make those kind of mistakes. But we can get you through that. Don't worry, it's not
Okay.
a big deal. Any other questions, queries, deals? Surprise.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, yeah. So basically, what was your strategy
Sorry,
in terms of?
who's talking? Oh,
It's DL.
what's your name? Sorry.
Hi, it's Darren.
Darren. Hi, Darren. Okay.
Hi. Yeah, just a question in terms of what was your approach to find good builders and contractors to sort of reliable? Where did you find the contacts? What was the approach? Because obviously, yeah, that's my
checkertrade.com.
Okay, you just use them.
I use checkertrade.com. I know, because I've been doing this trade a long time, I know how to qualify those builders, etc. Everybody I work with, I meet. I don't work with anyone unless I've met them. If I meet them on Zoom, I meet them personally, one-to-one, I go on the phone, I've met them, I know what they're about, and I know if they're going to be able to do that job or not. I don't just give it to anybody. I have to know the person. For example, the last deal that I was telling you that we did with a student, he's one of my investors slash contractors. And that's why I got it for so cheap. He done me a favor. He really done me a favor, because no one does a flat for $7,000 or $8,000. It's not heard of. You just can't. So you build that rapport with them, and you bring them more business. When you bring them more business and they're doing good work, they give you good prices. So it's all about rapport. It's not about just choosing anyone. You need to build that relationship and rapport with that person, and then they'll be able to look after you further along the line and moving forward, because you're in the business for long term. I've been doing 27 years. Long term is your strategy. You're not here today, gone tomorrow. And they need to know this. Once they know this, they will treat you in a different way. So that's generally how it works. I hope
that's helpful. Yeah, as I said, my main thing is just in terms of, as you say, if you're going to meet someone for the first time or slowly build it up, that's the starting point. I know when it's mature, then it's great, but it's just that stage of like, I've seek them out and building it from there really. So
I'm glad that helps. Do you have any other questions, Darren?
Not for now. If something else comes to mind, then I'm sure I'll ask you another one.
Session is helping. I was trying to, because usually I do these long slides, and I thought, no, I don't want to do that today. I actually scrapped the slides, and I said, let me just make it more interactive. People can ask the questions they want. It's genuine, it's real, it's live, and you'll get more value from it, because you'll leave with action points. You're like, right, I'm going to do A, B, C. He said to do this. This is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to make this mistake, and this is what I'm going to do next. And then you'll be able to progress a lot faster as well, because most of the things is about speed. Money likes speed. If you can be fast, then you can make money in good time. Okay, any other questions? Any other questions that we have that you would like to ask? Please feel free to use this time to ask, and then we can progress with that. Otherwise, I'm going to split you guys up.
Hello, Mr. Kern.
Hey, my favorite. How you doing?
Yeah, quick one.
Yes.
I wanted to know, like, when we sourcing properties, how do we know those areas that high crime rates to avoid them?
Good.
In order not to go and buy houses where there's a lot of high crime rates.
Yes.
How do we filter those areas out and avoid them?
Give me a second. Let me get the latest thing to share with you. There was a thing called Up My Street that we used to use before, but I think it's been superseded by Neighborhood Watch or something. Hold on one second. Check My Street. Check My Street. Yeah. Check My Street. Okay. Let me quickly share the screen. I'll show you. Check My Street. What have I got on the screen? Okay, nothing. Okay, share screen 2. Yeah, here we go. All right, so this is check. Can you see the screen? Check My Street, yeah? So find information about your street, etc. So for example, you start with a postcode, you put a postcode in there. Let's try a postcode here, W16. JU is one of J, yeah. Search by postcode. Right, so it gives you the area like this, Colma Road. Then you can see things like nearby stations, bus stops, local crime rate. See this? Local crime rate. There were 0 crimes recorded. Thank God. This is because it's one of my property areas. I'm like, please don't let me down. Okay, so this is there were 0 crime rates on or around this code. This covers so it will here it would say 10, 5, 6, whatever the crime rate is. You'll click on it, it will say maybe car theft or arson or robberies, burglaries. It'll give you some kind of idea of what type of crimes have been committed in that area. Average price sold, etc. Gives you some few other, statistics there. But it's the kind of thing you do. You just simply go in there, put your postcode in, and then you can get the lowdown of the crime rate in the area. Yeah, it used to be called Up My Street, but I think it's now Check My Street. It used to be Up My Street way back before, but once you type those in, you can get that incident information. But you got to remember as well is some areas are very good areas for renting, but they might still have a certain crime rate. When you're looking to sell to people that are going to live there, that's the way you look at the different crime rate, because when people are renting, there might be certain crime that they don't mind. They manage that crime because it's near to their location or near to their workplace or near to transport. But people that are living there might have a different, a different aspect or different tolerance towards crime. So it depends on what you're doing. Is it renting? Is it buying? That would determine what crime rate is tolerable in that area. So I hope that helps, Angela. Okay, Angela's gone quiet now. All right. I hope it's helped so much that she hasn't got any more questions on it. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, so yeah, that's the one way that you can check the crime rate. I'm just going to look at some other questions I've got here. Explain the role of investor and seller. Investor and seller, how do you identify suitable? Okay, so investor and seller. So when we're looking at assisted sales, the role of the investor is to, first of all, find out what the pain points are for that seller. What are the pain points? So number one, what is driving the sale? Is it that the place is very dated, is out of, it's dated, they can't do anything with it because they haven't got any money, they're stuck. Also, what's the exit? What are they trying to do? Are they moving out of the area? Are they moving to a bigger place? Are they maybe moving to a smaller place? Maybe their company has relocated them and got them somewhere else. They're going to another country. Maybe it's a probate and the person has sadly passed away and they've got this property and they emotionally want to distance themselves from that property. They don't want anything to do with that property because it reminds them of that loved one. So you need to find out, get to the emotional part of what is driving the reason why they can't, why is it they may be a bit hands-off or a bit distant from that property before you actually go into it. What we find, the deals that work the best are properties that are for let or vacant, not for let, sorry, properties that are empty. Usually when an investor or a seller goes to sell their property, they might do it up or they might sell it as it is and it's empty. When it's empty, they're paying a couple of things. They're paying council tax and they're paying mortgage usually. If there's no mortgage on it, fine. But if not, they'll be paying council tax, which is a cost, and mortgage cost, which is painful when you're not getting rent. So some people, they don't want to rent it because number one, it might not be in rentable condition, or number two, they can't be bothered to do the work and get people in there. They just want to get rid of it. So you need to find out what it is. You go online, you will look, you will see a property has been listed a long time. It's been on the market for ages. It's just not selling. It's just sitting there. Why is it sitting there? You compare it to other prices. The prices are comparable, but it's not moving. Then you go a bit closer, you take a closer look and you find out, oh, the bathroom's dated, the kitchen's dated, it's carpet. The last time I saw carpet, this was on Doctor Who or whatever. It's just, you need to just dive in a little bit deeper to find out what's going on and then find out how you can help that person to move to the next stage. It does take, it's a bit of an iterative process, but it's worth doing it. You're getting paid to do this work. So you become almost like a detective and you're getting paid to do detective work and it's worth it. It really does pay off. We've done deals. Students made 56K, 34K, 24K, 22K, 15K, 10K in their lunch break. These are real life students with real life situations. And it's just, they've connected with people that want to sell their property either from people they've known or through agents or through word of mouth, etc. These deals are real, they exist, and you too can do them. So that's really what it's about. What time at 8:17? Have we got enough time? Yeah, what I'm going to do is, we've got Aziz that's just joining us as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys maybe 3 questions. I'm going to put you guys in breakout rooms. I'm going to give you, this is going to be, we have to do this very quickly. I'm going to give you about 6 minutes. I'm going to give you 6 minutes. I want you to make a note and share what you've got from this training today and what you're going to do next. That's it. What have you got from this training and what you're going to do next in the next 7 days? What you're going to do in the next 7 days that's going to help you to get your next property. So I'm going to break you out into groups, and we're going to do that. So bear with me a sec. I will break out the rooms. Right. So we have breakout. Okay. Let's see. We've got.
Might not be able to talk in the next.
Okay, that's okay.
Because I'm in work.
You can listen. You can listen. But you're talking now.
Yeah, I bet in the next few minutes, yeah.
Yeah, you can talk. 4, 8, 9, 10, 16. All right, so 4. I do about 5 groups. I'm going to do 5 groups. I'm breaking you guys out now. I'm going to give you 6 minutes so that we can come back and share what we've discussed. All right, guys, I'm going to break you out now. All right. Balanle, Joshua, Josiah, Luke in one room, Aziz, Darren, Ton in another room, Angela, Julian, Stella, Basola, James, Mary. Okay, great. Okay, I'm breaking you out into groups now. I'll see you in 6 minutes.
Ken, you're on mute at the moment.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys are like, oh, conversation is getting really good. Why can't we stay on? Well, yeah, we've run out of time. So sorry, guys. We're going to have to probably, do this again next time. I think we'll probably give a bit more time to it because it's a really valuable, I feel that it's a valuable concept to this whole thing. It gives us opportunity to network and actually think strategically of what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. So we're just waiting for everyone to join. All breakouts will close in 10 seconds. Okay, so they're just closing 7, 5, 4. Yeah. All righty. Right, everyone's joining back now. Okay, wonderful. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Okay. Good stuff, good stuff. All right, so hopefully you guys had an opportunity to share some of the things that you've learned, some of the things that have really been that stuck out really, just like, oh my gosh, this is a game changer. And also what things that you're going to do next, because it's always good to have accountability to say you're going to do some things rather than, oh, that was a great seminar, great webinar, and don't do anything. The next time we see you in a month's time and you haven't done anything from the last time. So we're holding you accountable so you actually will progress and move forward in what you're doing. Okay, guys, so who's going to share first what they just give us? Choose a spokesperson perhaps that will, or any of you, I don't mind, you can talk and then share what you gained from our little training session and what you're going to do next. Julian, you look very keen to speak. Let you speak. Unmute and yeah, go ahead and share.
Well, basically, I'm fairly new, to be honest. I think for me it would be to explore different opportunity in my area and do some research, as you mentioned, check my streets. Yes. And find out obviously if there's property for sales or empty property in my area potentially. So yeah.
Wonderful, brilliant, good stuff. And what stuck out to you mainly about the training that you've received today? What did you think? Oh, that's new. I've never heard that before. Or that's a game. Or
Yeah, I think the follow-up is a big one. I think when you mentioned the money on follow-up, I think is a big is a light bulb for me.
Yes.
Make sure you always follow up, you keep consistent. I think consistency is everything, I guess, in this business.
Consistency, yes. I'm writing that down. Okay, thank you very much. And the next person, Luke.
Yeah, so we discussed you know, like what an assisted sale is, finding sellers, motivated sellers, um also ways of looking for properties, whether that's going to an estate agents or looking online. So different ways that we can find properties. And yeah, that was mainly it. And what we're planning on doing over the next 7 days is going into estate agents, having a look online, for properties that are slightly run down, you know, that needs a little bit of work, and going to view the actual properties, and, you know, taking as many notes and pictures and whatnot, and then coming back to you, um, for advice on the next step.
No problem. That's brilliant. Well done. I'm glad to hear. So I'm holding you accountable, Luke. I'm putting your name next to this. Luke leads viewings. Okay. Excellent. Thank you very much, Luke. That's brilliant. 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 Okay. Who can I choose next? James?
Okay, so yeah, so Mary is brand new. She's just kind of exploring. So yeah, I think she was just taking it all in. She said she's learned a lot. She said it was good to hear from you, because she was invited by somebody else. So yeah, so she said it was good to hear from you. So I think she's just going to be processing and digesting. And then Basola was just sharing a little bit more. Well, I think she's just had a lot going on, so she just needs to get back into the flow. And for myself, yeah, I'm just in the middle of multiple things at the moment, as you know. So I'm just trying to get some of those closed.
Yeah, we're working on some deals at the moment. That's really good.
Yeah,
okay, that's wonderful. I think James and I are working on probably about 5 or 6 different deals at the moment. So yeah, it's really good. Well, thank you very much for that lovely summary, James. That's brilliant, wonderful. And it's good to know that, you know, one of the mottos I say to people is no one left behind. And I really mean that. No one left behind. If you come on, you're in this family, we don't leave you behind. We encourage you to keep on going. And that's why accountability is really important. So you've said to everybody, this is what you're going to do. So in 7 days' time, we're going to be checking on you to make sure you've done it. And it's not to say, oh, you didn't do it or whatever. It's just to encourage you, because you've seen something in this property. You need to keep pushing, because you're going to have resistance, but you have to push through until you can get to the next level. Then 6 months down the line, you'll be like, I'm so glad I did that. And that's all it takes sometimes. Sometimes it starts in the mind. It starts with the mindset. You have to say that I'm going to do this. And you will do it. You'll find a way to do it. You just find a way. So yeah, thank you very much. That's really encouraging. Angela, are you able to speak, please? Angela's doing too many deals, I'm telling you. Too many. She's like probably doing a deal now. So, oh,
Mr. K, as a sellout.
Yeah. So what can you share? What can you share?
Yeah, I just learned, well, in short, whatever I've heard is something I've already experienced. And the most curious one was the question I just asked, and which you have answered. Now I know how to search for check my, you said check and find my, check my street. What did you call it again?
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. I had a challenge with that, so and now I'm
wonderful.
I know better.
Angela's doing. She's very modest. I think she's got about 3 deals that she's working on. One deal's about to close, and 2 other deals we're working on as well. So yeah, Angela's busy. She's doing stuff. So it's great. Okay, thank you, Angela. I'm sorry to drag out your busy schedule. Oh dear. Darren, are you able to share?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm able to share. Yeah, so yeah, we had a good conversation, and what we sort of first kept realized is that, you know, to remember that, you know, everybody needs to live somewhere. So it's a realization of that when, even if you talk about property, somebody is either, you know, live in the house, they think of moving to another house, or as you say, everyone's got that common interest, 99% of people, because you always need to live somewhere. So that was one of the things sort of I kind of sort of take away, just to remember to be open to, you know, even talk about what you're involved with.
Yes.
I did as well, like as you said, you know, for me, it's just that I'm at that stage where looking to buy the first property, but and things like when you talked about checker trade, things that I did like to have an understanding of how you suggested, how you, as your starting point, if you had to look for tradespeople. So that was good to sort of like to have a confidence thing. Okay, that's the starting point.
Yes.
And even in terms of what you said about crime rates, because that was new for me. That was interesting of how you may think about what sort of areas are good. And then I guess it's that's, and also what I took away, maybe at the start of the call you mentioned about, is always be like a student to learn different things. That's why I'm on the call today, to understand if there's anything I've missed or not have an understanding of that to make the next step. And what another thing I did want to ask, I know you probably have questions later, is that for yourself, if someone wanted to buy, as I said, a buy-to-let property, what would be the strategies you look for to search? Is that a good area you'll go buy that place? Is it in terms of transport links? Is it in terms of a good employer? Is it in terms of, as you said, about crime rate? Is it certain area? I'm just curious in terms of, from your perspective, for you, is there certain things that those are things you look for to check to say, okay, that's
all right. I won't answer that now, but what I would say to you is book a call with ken.com. Book a call with ken.com. You book a call with me and I'll answer those questions, because I want to ask everybody what they got, but that's a very good question. I'm probably going to need a bit more than the time that we've got left, but I'm happy to discuss and show you some strategies. That there's very powerful strategies that you can investigate an area in about 15 minutes. I mean, complete investigation. I mean, as if you were there. So instead of you having to go to Nottingham, to go to Newcastle, to go to this place, you can literally get on the phone, say the right things, and get the information that you need. So I can share all that stuff with you. So book a call with ken.com. Do it now. Book that call. Put your questions in there, and then you book the call in my next slot, which will probably be Monday. I don't know if I've got any slots left for Thursday and Friday, but Monday we have that conversation. Well, thank you. Thank you very much for that. Wonderful feedback. It's really good. It's really good. Thank you. I'm just going to move on swiftly because I'm very conscious of time. We've gone over slightly. Bolanle, were you able to get on in a group and have a chat? Do you have anything that you can share at this time?
No, apologies, I did join late as I had a clash with another call, but I knew I would get, at least if I come on for 5 minutes, I know I'll get some nuggets.
Did you get something in 5 minutes?
Okay. So just based on what you just said, so I joined at the point when you were talking about how to find out if there's any crime in the area.
Yes.
I quite grasp that, but that's interesting because I've never thought to do that. Actually, I've never known how to do that.
Yes.
So other kind of research, yes, but this one, no. And so I kind of missed that. I caught the tail end of that. So I'd like to know about that.
Yeah, let's check my street. It was a question asked by Angela. She asked about the crime rate. It's checkmystreet.co.uk. You put the postcode in and it will tell you the crime rate, the latest crime rate in that area, which will give you an idea, a feel of the crime in that area. But as I was saying to Darren earlier on, there's other ways of checking other things as well. This is good to check that, but there's other ways to check other things, in the local area quickly, because half the time we don't have the time to go up and down. We're all busy. You're all busy professionals. You don't have the time. You need to leverage your time as quickly, as much as you possibly can. So this could be done on the phone if you know how to do it. And those are the things that we can share with you. So yeah, these are good questions you're asking, and thank you very much for joining us. And I know that you had a split of you had to do, and you really had to draw yourself away. So you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Anyone else that's because we've gone over time by a little bit. So if there's maybe one person or one other person that wants to speak, that wants to share. If not, we will close. Does anyone else want to share that has not spoken yet? Okay, I guess we're done. All right, wonderful. Okay, so those newcomers, I will be sending out a link, or my team will be sending out a link to you to have the opportunity to have a very quick chat with me. I want to know what your what your journey is looking like. What does the future look like for property for you? Are you just getting started? Are you buying your first buy to let? Are you buying a second, third, fourth, fifth property? Do you want to go to the next level? Do you just want to get your feet, dip your toes in? Whatever the case may be, we're here to help you. My team and myself are here to help you. We have our other students here. There's 34 students on in our academy. So there's a lot of us in the academy that love to work together. No one left behind is our strategy and is our mantra. So no one left behind. So keep smiling, keep looking for problems, because problems equals profits. And I always forget the last one. What's the last one? James, what's the last one?
Never stop learning, because life never stops teaching.
That's the one. Never stop learning, because life never stops teaching. And yeah, so thank you so much. I hope that's been, I know there's been a crash a crash 1 hour, and we need lots more time, but I tried to put as much as I can in there so that you guys can get the most value. We do run this on a monthly basis, so it's the last Thursday of every month. So the next one we're going to have live like this will be the last Thursday of next month, which is May. So I look forward to seeing you guys again. Yeah. But guys, students, mentors, team members, you know where we are. Please don't try and do these deals by yourself. We're here to support you. We're here to help you. Don't feel that, we're too busy for you. We are here. You need anything. I don't want to have to be doing any patchwork like I'm going to do with certain people, but we're here to make sure you get it right the first time around. And I know there's students here that are doing 2 deals, 3 deals, 4 deals, but we have the capability of doing that because we're structuring things properly. So remember to always reach out. We're here to support you, here to help you. Even if you think it's a simple deal, you're going to make 10 grand, you might have a conversation and work out that you're going to make 25 grand, or you're going to make 25 grand and you have a conversation, you're going to make 50 grand. So it's worth that time. Come to us. We're here to support you. We're here to take you to the next level. We're all going to work together to succeed in our property journey. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you live next month and on our calls through bookacallwithken.com, and then we can have a chat further about that. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Ken.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.